two charges are near each other, that means it is a relative statement. We cannot say something is near or far from another unless we are comparing the distance with something, because 1 meter can be large or small depending on how far you are when you're looking at it. If you're looking at it from 1 kilometer away, then 1 meter is a small distance. If you're looking at it from 1 centimeter away, then 1 meter is a very, very large distance. So not to complicate things much, dipole consists of two equal and opposite charges placed close to each other. That's the definition of what a dipole is. Now, how do you find what is the notation? Minus q plus q. That's all right. And what else can we say? We can say that distance between them is either you'd show it by d, the whole distance, or another notation which is very popular is you take the center of the dipole, O, and then say that, okay, A and A. So total distance being 2A. So one charge is A distance from the center, the other one is also A distance from the center. Total distance in that case becomes 2A. Now, one very interesting thing, important thing about dipole is the dipole moment. There is a vector associated with dipole, which is basically a vector which points from negative to positive charge given by the symbol P. The P vector is the dipole moment vector. What are the properties of the dipole moment vector? Number one, direction is from negative to positive charge. That's the first and foremost thing. Negative to positive charge is the direction for the dipole moment vector. Number two, magnitude of dipole moment. Very easy and important formula. Mod of P, you can also write it as simply P is equal to charge. Charge is Q. Not positive or negative combined, that will be 0. Any one, minus Q plus Q, the value is Q. So charge, you can say the positive charge value to keep it simple, into distance between the charges. What is the distance between these two charges currently? This, yeah, it's 2A. So dipole moment vector is along the from positive to negative, and its value is Q into 2A. That's the simplest of cases. Charge into distance. Note here that the direction of the dipole moment vector is from negative to positive charge, unlike electric field. Because field goes from positive to negative charge. As you might have seen, field out of E into out of plus Q into minus Q. That is your field. But what is the moment doing? Moment is doing exactly opposite, going out of negative and into positive. That's dipole moment 101. Then after that, there are some things you can do about. You can ask the potential, which we haven't studied yet. So we'll look at it in the next chapter. You can also look at the field, precisely the electric field due to a dipole. So electric field due to a dipole, we'll derive and then we'll just remember the formula, forget about the derivation once we have derived it. So minus Q plus Q, and then A and A, that's no big deal. A and A, and the dipole moment vector is minus 2 plus P equal to 2QA, 2A into Q basically, mod of that basically. So I want to find the field basically for this. How will I do it? So there are 2 points that I can take. One is the axial point. This is the axis of the dipole. This is the equator of the dipole. Axis, equator. Some point A, basically an axial point. Right or left doesn't matter. This is also axial point. This whole thing is axis. This whole thing is equator. And some point B, equatorial point. Then with some arbitrary point C, neither axial nor equatorial. We'll look at that after these two. So first things first, field at an axial point. The calculation is rather straightforward for this one. It is nothing special actually. This is just like field due to multiple charges, which we have done even in 2D. So 1D is no problem at all. So this is minus Q charge plus Q charge. This is A. This is A. I'm calling this as the center of my dipole O. And from the center, at some distance, very, very far away, is R distance. I have a point A, axial point. There, I might have two fields, one due to the negative charge. Can you tell me the direction of the field due to the negative charge at point A?
It'll be towards the positive.
Yeah, towards the yeah, same left side basically.
Yeah, that's right.
And okay, cool. And positive will be like that by that logic. So this is your E positive, and this is your E negative. So when I write the value of net electric field E net or E will be, let's say E axial is equal to, because the two vectors are opposite to each other, it will be E positive, which is larger because it's closer to the charge, minus E negative. Right? E positive minus E negative. You can say X cap or I cap just to show the direction. Value of E positive is very simple. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by distance of A from plus Q. If you observe closely, it will be R minus A. And E minus will be, disregarding the negative sign, KQ by R plus A whole square. So E axial, just value wise direction we'll see later. E axial is simply E plus minus E minus is equal to KQ by R minus A whole square minus KQ by R plus A whole square. That will give me KQ R plus A whole square minus R minus A whole square by A plus B into A minus B is A square minus B square whole square. So this is the expression. Now we'll bring, till now we have not done anything related to dipole, even though this whole thing is dipole and we are taking it, but this is just like taking two charges. Where's the dipole bit here? So the dipole bit is here. If it is a dipole, or if it has to act like a dipole, then it is absolutely necessary that A should be very, very smaller than R. A should be very, very smaller than R. Are you following? A should be less than R because this is a dipole, so its size should be low. That means R square minus A square is just nearly equal to R square. A is negligible. By that logic, I can say, okay, E axial is simply KQ, and I can open the brackets up, R square plus A square plus 2AR minus R square minus A square plus 2AR upon R4. So what will this give me? Cancel, 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 cancel. I'll get 4KQAR by R4. R and this thing cancels. I get EXGL is 4KQA by R cube. Here I'll do a little maneuver. I'll say this is actually 2K Q into 2A. Q into 2A is nothing but the dipole moment. This will be 2Kp by R cube. So value wise, axial point field is equal to 2Kp by R cube. And vectorially speaking, E axial is actually equal to 2Kp vector by R cube, where K is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and P vector is basically the dipole moment vector. Because the magnitude is already embedded in the formula, we did this maneuver here. Q into 2A is dipole moment, and then the direction of the axial field, which will be net field, will be here, is the same as the direction of the dipole moment, which will be from minus to plus. So you can actually equate the vectors themselves direction wise. So the derivation is not as difficult as it might look, but it can be boring. That's all. So this is the axial formula. Is this clear till here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next we have equatorial point. For equatorial point, similar but not same. Minus Q plus Q. Equatorial means somewhere here. I'm at a distance of R from the center, which is center is O basically. I'm at a distance of R from the center. And then what I'm interested in is, I think I should draw the R later. I'm interested in the field due to both these types of charges, positive and negative. So negative charge will have like this, E minus, let's call it E. The positive charge will have like this, let's call it E as well, because the magnitude will be same. Since the distance and charge are same by symmetry, you can see. So what is the value of E first of all? Value of E for both these positive and negative, E is equal to KQ by R square. KQ by, what is R? R is not this thing. This guy is not R. I mean, yeah, name wise, yes. The distance is actually the hypotenuse. This is A, then the hypotenuse is A square plus R square, and the root squared, A square plus R square. And then what is the net field? If this is theta, this is also theta. And if I draw here theta, theta will be the angles. So my net field, the equatorial, will be 2e cos theta is what I'm looking at. Sin thetas will cancel. You can see sin theta, both will get cancelled. Net field is only 2e cos theta. Cos theta is base by hypotenuse, so it is also very easy. A square plus R square raised to the power half, or root basically. Base is A, hypotenuse is the, hypotenuse is the hypotenuse. So cos theta is A by A square plus R square under root. So then that means my E equatorial becomes 2e cos theta. And if I write it down, it will be 2kq by A square plus R square into cos theta is A by A square plus R square raised to the power half, which makes E equatorial equal to 2kqa by A square plus R square raised to the power 3 by 2. That basically means E equatorial is equal to, for dipole. So that is the answer though. But if it is a dipole, then again, A is very, very smaller than R. That means E equatorial will become 2kqa by A just disappears straight away. So I have R square by 3 by 2, which just gives me kqa by R cube. I can rearrange this to give me kq into 2a. This is the dipole moment. So E equatorial is value wise kp by R cube as opposed to the axial field, which is 2kp by R cube. This is kp by R cube, half of it. Also, direction wise, it's not the same as p. If you see the direction, negative to positive dipole moment will be in the right side, whereas the field is in the left side. Even if you draw below, same answer. That means I have a negative relation in terms of direction between E axial, E equatorial, and the dipole moment. So E equatorial, in the end, the vector form, which you should remember for maximum efficiency, minus kp vector by R cube. So that's the takeaway message: equatorial, axial. I hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
And lastly, last but not the least, general point. Field at a general point is equally important. Neither equatorial nor axial. Important for JE purposes. So for general point, there is actually a way. We'll not be deriving it. That will be too much for us. But I think the formula itself is quite good. So, and useful. Minus, plus, minus q, plus q. Same thing. O. And then here's the catch. This is my p vector. And then I draw the position vector to where I want to find the field. This is my R vector, position vector R. And I want to find the field at this point, general point P, let's say. This is P vector, that is point P. You can call it A if you want. So here we should see what is the theta direction. This angle is theta. So this is your theta cap direction. And this is your radial direction, ER. You'll have two components, ER away, radial, and E theta along the tangent. So tangent and normal, tangent and radial, there are actually two components, and we will find the form, write the formula and remember them for the radial and the tangential components. And then you can find the net field, and whatever you need to do with that, then it's up to us, just vector manipulation. Everything else is normal. So if I know ER and E theta, I know the electric field also. And we, instead of remembering ER, E vector as a whole bunch, it is much easier to just remember that ER component is simply 2kp by R cube, like axial, but cos theta comes in. And E theta is kp by R cube, just like equatorial, but sin theta comes in. So those are the form. Now, if you want to find the net vector or the angle, direction, blah, 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 all that is quite trivial. If we know vector, then we know the whole deal. Because, for example, I'll just tell you, once I get this out of my way, right? So now I can find what is the problem. E vector, ठीक है, ER square plus E theta square, both are perpendicular like X and Y. So that's my, if I want to find alpha, let's say alpha is the angle with the radial vector or the position vector even, then tan alpha is simply, you can see, E theta by ER, just like you would do for a normal vector component case. Are we clear on this? I hope we are. Are you asleep? Wake up, Disha. Disha is asleep. Part 1. pretty elementary question, but I would still like you to attempt with full honesty. Wrong answers are most welcome. Totally honestly. If you need formula, I can give you. E axial is equal to 2kp by r cube. E equatorial is equal to kp by r cube. P is q into 2a. That's what we need here if you read the question.
Is
All right, did you get the answer?
Yes, sir.
What's the answer?
I got 2.5 into 10 power 5.
Yeah, that's nearly correct. Correct. Okay, next one.
Next.
B part.
Doing so.
Okay, okay. So as you might have observed, A is an axial point. They didn't say the words, but it is the axial point. Similarly, B.
Uh, 1.25 into 10 power 5.
Right. That is almost correct. 1.25 any powers?
Into
That's
10
it.
power 5.
Yeah, more or less correct. Okay. Moving on. Next we have, let's do a question on that, the general formula. We have to open Math CD for this. Not sure about that. I want to find the magnitude and direction of electric field at point P. Let me just make it. Yeah. So for this, you might need this theory. So I would like you to take a screenshot or something if needed. from this point, this one. Take a screenshot or this photograph. Are we done?
Yes.
So you have to apply that approach in this question.
Yes, sir. I got the magnitude as 1.62 into 10 power 8.
Let's check. Yes. What's your answer?
1.62 into 10 power 8.
That's correct.
And alpha is tan inverse 7 by 25.
Basically, tan alpha is. Yeah. So I think you took the alpha like this. I hope. This is your alpha, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Right. So let's move on to the next part. So that was more or less how you can do questions on field due to a dipole. And then we have to discuss what happens to a dipole in an external field. So even though dipole has a field of its own, but it might experience some sort of effect if it is placed in an external field. External field means field from something outside of it. So we are not talking about the dipole's field now. That is a separate thing. Let us suppose that we have this dipole minus q plus q, and there is an electric field, uniform electric field. Uniform means direction is also constant and magnitude is also constant. The dipole moment vector will be from minus to plus. Is clear? P vector will be from negative to positive, and this angle would be theta. Are we clear till here? This E is field from outside. This is not the field due to dipole. So this field exists everywhere actually. There's a very weird disturbance in the background because of this connection. Do you also hear it? Or nothing like that?
No, no, nothing.
Achha. Okay. So E upwards and E upwards, it's the same everywhere. It's uniform means equal and having same direction. So what will be the effect of this? What will be the direction of force and magnitude of force on the negative charge due to this field? Tell me. You need to answer. If you don't answer, you can say you don't know. You forgot. That's totally fine. But I would like an
It
answer
will be
here.
towards the negative charge, right?
Towards the negative charge, is it? I'm not asking again. See, let's not get confused. And very importantly, let's just backtrack a little. It's been a while since we saw this. Let me remind you that it's one thing to have field due to a charge, which we did most of the time. Hence, you remember that part. But you should also remember that I told you that a charge in a field experiences a force of Q into E. Where did I write it exactly? So much colorful work here, but I think I did tell you, I'm sure. I mean, it's sort of written here, but where's the diagram on that? Yeah, by definition, F equal to QE, this little ignored section of society. Here, Q and then field is on this. Anyway, I'll tell you fresh here. So think of a mass and gravity. mass m, gravity g is down, so force on it is mg down. Similarly, you might remember that a charge q in a field E will experience a force QE in the same direction as the field. This field is not because of the charge itself. That's the key point here. Okay, so let's not get confused here. One is field due to the charge and one is field that is due to something else. We don't know, some external factor, and then it interacts with the charge. Just like a leaf in a river might get drifted away by the water flow, or a feather in the air, a pollen grain, might get drifted with the air. Similarly, this charge which is present in space, if it encounters a field, it will get drifted along with the charge, with the field, like wind is blowing or something, like water is flowing or something. Okay, so if you didn't find that poetic, it's totally fine. The thing is, the force will be Q into E in this direction by the basic formula that electrostatic force on a charge of Q is QE. For negative charge, the direction of force will be opposite to the field direction. So can you tell me now, for the negative charge, where will be the direction? Any guesses? No, you don't know. Okay. So you are not in the mood to study today. I can totally feel it. So minus QE in this direction. Okay, I'll try to cut it short and give you something else in a while. But anyway, so just focus for 5 more minutes, then I'll switch to something else. So minus QE is the force direction. This is the force. The red one is the force on the negative, opposite to the field direction. And green one is the force on the positive along the field direction. So to cut it short, this is my dipole and force is QE value wise and QE value wise. Forget about the minus sign, no longer required. The torque, whose formula I totally forgot, I know, is going to be, this is theta, this will be QE sine theta, this will be QE sine theta. No need to worry about the derivation, I'm just writing it, you can look at it later. But the torque is going to be QE sine theta into distance, which is A for each of these forces. So into A into 2, because there are 2 such forces. So basically this dipole will rotate in the electric field, because it's like you, if you stretch out your arms and one of your friends takes your arm and pushes it to the backward side and the other arm is pushed to the forward side, you will start spinning basically. So something like that happens to this dipole. One arm of the dipole is pushed back and the other one is pushed forward, spins like a top Beyblade. So the torque comes into the picture. You can rearrange this formula, 2QA into E into sine theta, and 2QA is basically the dipole moment. So it is PE sine theta, but I can also write it as torque vector is equal to P cross E. Because A cross B is AB sine theta, P cross E is PE sine theta. By that logic. Okay, I'll give you a simple question on this, then I'll switch to something else. So let's do a question. Okay. You did dipole in college. You didn't, either you got it very well or you didn't get it at all.
They didn't even teach all this.
Then why are you not listening now?
No, I did. No, this part I listened properly.
I wish you would listen properly, but anyway. So P cross E. I mean, derivation, see, when I was your age and when I wrote the JEE exam, I had very little knowledge of derivations. Even though I read them, I understood them, and then I put them in the move to trash, is what I did to them. So I don't remember that many derivations. Even today, I don't have full knowledge of all the derivations, especially in mathematics, but also in physics. So, I mean, I have the benefit of being able to refer to the textbook every now and then when required. But like this stuff is very easy and it's very clear in my head. I remember all this stuff. But the thing is, you don't have to remember it. Okay. Only thing is you should just know what is being done. And you could just take just general interest, like a story of some sorts, if that is what you're into, for example. So if you just listen to it like a story and try to understand the concept that is behind it, like what am I saying, one force, another force, both are torque. Now I forgot, oh my god, what is torque and what's the formula, what was rotation and all that, and then it gives you anxiety. Then in that case, just remember torque is P cross E or PE sine theta, and everything else can move to trash for now. Like it is in the trash means these notes are your trash can. You can always open up and see if you need to restore some of that later in your brain. So you have this repository for now, P sine theta. Okay, so let's try to do a question on this. If I could find any question on this in some book. I'm trying to search. I mean, I could give myself this one way. So okay, I think I'll just create one question. A dipole consists of two charges, of course, two charges of magnitude 5 microcoulomb, like with the micro, lots of micro now, millicoulomb, 5 millicoulomb, separated by 2 centimeters. Okay, this is the first statement. I have told you just the charges and the separation. Now, find the maximum and minimum torque that it could experience in a uniform electric field of 100 Newton per Coulomb. So fresh out of the oven, ma'am, just for you. Okay, so just solve this question now. I have the same feeling sometimes. Last class, last to last was horrible, 2 hour long crash course. You have to finish a lot, speak a lot, do a lot in the 2 hour, and the student is not cooperating. Think about it. So I know I was looking at the watch every second, every minute. I mean, so, but I hope that is not the case every day. Now, in my class, they'll just beat the purpose of this class. Never mind. Let's do the question, and but till then, I'll think what to do after this.
So we got maximum torque as 10 power minus 3 Newton.
Let's check that out. So if I calculate the P, what's the max and the min?
Yeah, maximum 10 power minus 3.
What's the unit for torque?
Newton.
Very good. Newton meter. Okay, what about minimum? It's okay. Minimum
0.
0. Good. 0 is good. Sine 0 is 0. So 0. And maximum torque, let's see how you went about it. P into E will be maximum torque. P is 2 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 into E is 100. So the answer would be 5 to the 10, 10 to the 20, 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 Newton per meter.
Won't it be 1? It would be just 1.
5 to the 10, 10 to the... Wait. Am I doing something wrong here? Just one second. Charge has... Okay, 5 into 2. Yeah. So what's this 2 all about? Nothing. Nonsense. Yeah, it will be 1. Correct. Now I am making mistakes. So charge into distance. Distance is 2. Correct. And charge is 5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, that's fine. But I think you did not take the centimeter part into the equation. That's all.
I wrote it as 0.1.
Oh, okay. That's too bad. That's just a silly mistake that you should totally avoid. It's fine. So you more or less got the answer on this. That's the highlight. Okay, so rest of the 15 minutes or so, let me try to diversify today's class. Have you had a tough day today in terms of work or no?
No, I mean, today
Hmm.
the classes weren't that great and I had a test also.
Oh my God. Which test?
Chemistry.
What was the syllabus?
Haloalkanes and arenes and chemical kinetics. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I hate.
went on well only, but then I think
Hmm.
I'll lose like 1 mark and then they'll call my parents and be like, your daughter lost 1 mark. Ask her to
Losing
study.
1 mark. They are expecting 100% from everybody.
Yeah.
No, I won't. Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, if I had to study haloalkanes and haloarenes, I would just not study anymore that full day. So I can understand. Even chemical kinetics is a painful topic for some people. I mean, I liked physical chemistry in general because it is sort of
That's better
related to
than
physics.
organic.
But kinetics is sort of a painful one. I found. I mean, there are especially kinetics and electrochemistry were not my favorites. But then everything is better than inorganic chemistry is what I think. Many people actually love inorganic chemistry. They think that remembering the periodic table and all these.
Yeah, I'm fine with inorganic also. I hate organic.
So you're a rattu tota in that case, is what I call people who like inorganic. Okay. Right. So yeah, I'll just carry on. That's all, Abhin. Let me see. I'll give you questions. No more theory. Otherwise, you'll totally not like that. So I'll just give you some simple questions. Let me see. 37. So lockdown in Bangalore, COVID at all-time high. Be safe, stay inside. Okay. We have simple question for you. 2-point charges QA is equal to 3 microcoulomb and QB is equal to minus 3 microcoulomb are located. What? No, I'm so sorry. That was another question, which is too simple. I copied the wrong. Yeah, using my finger now. Two charges QA is equal to 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulombs, and QB is minus 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulombs, located at points A being 0, 0, minus 15 centimeter coordinates, and B 0, 0, plus 15 centimeters respectively. What is the total charge and electric dipole moment of the system? Okay, easy peasy. Easy question.
So we had done the first question in class.
First one means from the image that I'm showing you right now.
Yeah. The one
That's
about
a
that.
nice J question you did, huh? That's a dipole related question, right?
Yeah, but he made it look very easy.
He made it look easy.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. That sort of is a challenge for me. So let me see what it's.
So he
What the
made it
fuss
look
is.
very easy, but we all were very clueless about it.
So then he didn't make it look easy, basically. Oh, he did it very easy. Like he solved
Yeah,
it very easy.
yeah,
Like this is like that is like that, and
yeah.
hence that's why mass of the moon is this many kgs, right? So anyway, I'll look at that question. It doesn't look easy. What about potential? He has not taught you potential already,
He
has
did
he?
the other part, that's all. Only the
The
type.
field due to the dipole.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll look at that question. First, you look at the second question. Meanwhile, this is actually a trick-based question. This can only be solved by using a trick, which you can think of. It's not difficult one. Just give it a shot. Meanwhile, I just look at that. So this is basically equatorial point. No. Yeah, it is easy, I think. The first question. I'll explain that also later. If I'm not wrong, then the answer should be minus plus. Yeah. Potential will be 0. Answer should be C, I think. Okay. Yeah, it's B, not C. I got my mistake. Did you get the second one? Any clue about this one? Any approaches?
Sir, is it B?
So let's see. First, let me check the answer. Topic 4, question 2. B. How did you do it?
I did 2E cos theta.
2E cos theta. Why?
Means it's in the equatorial position, and then I knew the theta also 60 degrees.
It's quite vague what you did. But this is not minus Q and plus Q, no. This is plus Q, and there is one more minus 2Q. How did you manage to miss all that extra stuff?
I didn't
See,
see that one.
कोई बात
I'll try again.
अच्छा, ठीक है. It's not as straightforward as you are thinking. I mean, once you know the trick, then it's straightforward.
Yes, sir. I got minus root 3 QLJ cap.
That's a very significant turnaround. Tell me, how did you manage?
Yeah, so I took the charge. So basically, the negative and we moved towards the positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's minus 2Q and Q, both the vectors I took it as P itself. And then I did P sine theta, P cos theta. So sine theta thing will get cancelled.
Hmm.
So you get 2P cos theta. And the angle is 60 degree, but then theta will be 60 by 2, so that'll be 30. Yeah,
Only
that's
thing you missed here is that you have to split this into two charges of minus q and minus q, such that you have two independent dipoles and with the dipole moment equal. That's all you didn't tell me, but otherwise everything was in order. Okay. The minus 2q, that's a key point, can be looked at as two separate charges, minus q, placed at the same point, one upon the other, or side by side, you can say. And then they will constitute two dipoles, one minus q, 2 plus q, and another one minus q, 2 plus q. If that makes any sense, right? This way and this way. And then these two dipoles will add up the way you just explained. Okay. Shall we also do the first question very quickly?
Yes, sir.
Let me explain that to you. Actually, I got the wrong answer on that. I realized later what was the issue. It was a very trivial mistake. So actually, this looks like a tough one, and you might get repelled at the sight of this question, but it is actually quite simple. Apart from just one small trick they play there, which foxed me for sure, is that just let's take a look at what they're saying. There is a dipole. Just enlarge it. No, I definitely need to change my tip today. So yeah, okay. Point dipole P naught x cap is kept at the origin minus P naught x cap. So that's the key. If this is my xy coordinates, then the dipole is essentially placed here minus P naught x cap. That is noteworthy. It is having a value of P naught, but negative means on the left hand side. Negative x cap is what? To the left. Positive x cap is to the right. Are you following this?
Yes, sir.
This dipole is to the left. The dipole moment essentially is to the left. Now this kind of a dipole, they're asking on the y-axis at a distance d. So that means they're asking at this point, which is essentially an equatorial point. as we have already studied. This is an equatorial point. You can cross-check with what we have done in this question as well as here. Equatorial point, dipole at the bottom, and then some point at the top. So anyway, this is an equatorial point, and hence the electric field, first of all, direction wise, should be in the opposite direction. If P naught is left, then electric field at the equatorial point will be to the right. That is just the property of equatorial point, that the field has to be to the opposite side. Axial field will be this way, same as the dipole moment. Equatorial field will be opposite to the dipole moment. Value, everybody knows, EQ is equal to Kp by RQ. So in this case, R is D minus Kp by RQ, formula wise, vector formula. E equatorial is equal to minus Kp vector by RQ, here R is D. Answer is this one. And potential, how it is zero, I will not go into. It's also easy. If both the points are equidistant, one is positive, other is negative, but we'll get there later. So basically just equatorial point field. So this is nothing else. Right. So your torture is over for today. And I mean, since morning, not just my class. Mine is the finale, the prima donna, the pinnacle of anyway, pain, pinnacle of pain. Sounds like a good title. So when is your next class?
Sunday.
Friday. Today's Friday only.
Sunday.
Sunday, same time, 9:30, I guess. ठीक है, तो no homework. Do just what is going on at college, and if they have given you some material, or do you want to do some homework?
Yes,
What would
sir.
you prefer? Okay, good. In that case, I would like you to do some math problems because I haven't given you math problems for a while. I mean, that NCERT part is more or less useless. I think the exercise that I sent you, the WhatsApp, as I have mentioned earlier, it is more or less useless. So let me see. Complex numbers is more or less done. We were doing matrices and determinants. 135. If you think you are good at matrices already, then I think it will be enjoyable for you. Otherwise, you can just do something else. This is what I think would be a good idea. So your homework is chapter 7, Arihant Mathematics. Topic 1 and 1 alone. That's it. I have actually sent it to you on WhatsApp to have a better tracking of it. Okay, I've written it down. Topic 1, chapter 7, Arihant Mathematics, matrices and determinants. So Disha, have a good one. See you on Sunday.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.